Hey, I'm Brandon Lee, and thanks for joining me for part 3 of my Filmmaker's vlog in Morocco. In this vlog series, I'm taking you through the making of my short film Morocco Arise. There is a link to that film in the description here. And also, if you want to learn filmmaking, there's going to be a link to my film school unscripted studio as well. So let's begin the final chapter of the vlog. If you drive east in Morocco, and you just keep going, you eventually end up in the lunar desolation of the Zagora Desert. We camped overnight and listened to Gnawa music by the campfire. And the next morning, we went out to film the nomads who live nearby. Nomads have been living in the desert of Morocco for centuries, adapting to the harsh environment to survive. Their existence relies on the herds of goats that they keep. This man is over 90 years old, and he's spent his whole life as a nomad. And throughout his life, the eternal challenge is the search for water. Every day, his caretaker draws water from a well. She floods the trough so that her goats can drink. Then she fills her jugs with water. And then she begins the long journey home on foot. At home, she brews mint tea, a typical Moroccan drink. For many Moroccans, tea is just a beverage, but for the nomads, it means survival. As the desert grows drier, the nomads' way of life may soon be gone, which is why I felt so compelled to document them in this scene. Our odyssey continued to the Merzouga Desert, home to the largest sand dunes in Morocco. And of course, camels. We spent the night in a luxury camp, and then the next morning at dawn, we went out to film a guide who leads camel tours. Each morning, he takes his camels from his base camp over to the tourist camps, and that's the perfect opportunity to film the camels without tourists on their backs. By the way, the reason I'm not flying a drone here is because of the strict drone regulations in Morocco. We didn't have permission to fly, so instead I just used my own 2 feet.
Just filmed the camels, went back in the car, exhausted.
It was a lot easier to film from the car instead. One of the main reasons I came to Morocco was to film a Fantasia. A Fantasia is a performance where a group of riders gallop at full speed and then fire their rifles into the air in unison. The more synchronized their gunfire, the better their score. The goal is to sound like a single gunshot. The Fantasia began as a way for warriors to train for battle, and now it's a display of horsemanship, marksmanship, and cultural heritage of the Berber people. If you want the easy way to see a Fantasia, they do have dinner shows in Marrakesh, but I wanted something a little more authentic. Thankfully, our friend Yassine Cavalier knew of a Fantasia near Agadir. We learned about it at the very last minute, and we set out at sunrise to get there on time. Teams from all over Morocco come together for the Fantasia, and they build a temporary camp where everybody dines together. The horses they use are well-bred stallions, never workhorses. They're decorated with traditional saddles which are embroidered by hand. Each team has its own unique costume, and the men help each other to get ready before they ride. Then they prepare the antique muskets with gunpowder, but of course no bullets. And right before the beginning of the Fantasia, the team says a prayer. As I was filming, I realized just how dangerous the Fantasia could be. Horses bucked their riders, collided with each other. I even saw a few falls that looked pretty catastrophic. The audience, meanwhile, got showered by sparks and smoke, which they actually seemed to enjoy. They cheered the loudest when the horses came to a halt just before colliding with the front row. The Fantasia is obviously only for the brave. While I was in Morocco, another pretty important event was happening, the World Cup. And the Moroccan team was going further than any African team had ever gone before. So even though I hadn't planned on putting football in my film at all, I started filming pickup games as I traveled around.
Now we have a football team. We're going to do some shooting in the Medina.
I even got a group of kids together in Chefchaouen to run through the blue city kicking the ball. And as we kept driving, everywhere we saw a group of kids playing football, we stopped and asked them if it was okay for me to jump in and get some footage. I got up close to them with my GoPro because I wanted to capture that feeling of being a part of the game. I wanted to show the intensity of play that breeds a winning team. The other element of the World Cup I wanted to capture was the reactions of the fans. I filmed in the Medina of Marrakesh, where they had a huge screen playing the game in the Jemaa al-Fna Square. And thousands of people were watching all together. I also filmed in random bars, gift shops, even the Merzouga Desert, to show how different people around Morocco experienced the big event. Even though Morocco is a vast country with a lot of different cultures, the games brought everybody together in celebration. After the Moroccan victory against Spain, I spent the entire evening filming on the streets of Marrakesh. And it's an evening I'll never forget. In my entire trip, I'd never seen the Moroccans so happy and unified. The energy was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. During the World Cup, Morocco won the heart of the entire world. So thank you so much to everybody in Morocco who helped me to bring this journey to life. So that concludes my Filmmakers Vlog series. I hope you found this inspirational for you to get out there and make your own adventures a reality. So please click like and subscribe and the notification bell. Once again, I'm Brandon Lee, and I'll see you next time.